of India in 2002 for his outstanding contribution to the rule of law. In 2007, he was presented by the National Law Day Award by the President of India. He is also the immediate past president of the Bar Association of India, the president of Society of Indian Law Firms, the chairman of Chartered Institute of Arbitrators India, the chairman of Confederation of Indian Industry, National Committee on Legal Services, amongst being on the board of many. Somebody who has truly dedicated his life to law practice. 6 decades in the practice, a veteran for sure. May I request all of you to please extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Lalit Naseem. Sir.
We have Mr. Rohit Kochar now join us. So Mr. Rohit Kochar will give the welcome address.
May I present a very warm welcome to Mr. Rohit Kochar, who is also the founding member and the managing partner of Kochar & Company, someone who has put over 35 years of his career into acting for multinational corporations and prominent domestic companies on the most pressing of issues. In fact, he is regarded as one of India's most accomplished lawyers in various cases. May I request all of you to please extend a warm welcome to the regional president of Iacc here to extend the opening remarks. All yours.
Is the Honorable Minister also with us?
No,
Sir,
he's
he
not.
will be joining after a while.
Yeah.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone. While it's late evening for me as I join from the Bay Area here in San Francisco. Friends, in my capacity as a regional president of the IACC and the chairman of the knowledge partner firm for this summit, Kochar & Company, it gives me great pleasure to welcome each of you to this 19th edition of the Indo-US Economic Summit. I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Patricia Lacina, Charge d'Affaires, US Embassy, as our guest of honor. Thank you very much, Ms. Lacina, for joining us. And I must place on record our heartfelt gratitude for the unflinching support that we have received from the US Embassy and all senior dignitaries such as yourself. 75 years of US-India relations, the new agenda for the next 25 years. The theme for this year's Economic Summit is a fitting tribute to Indo-US partnership, a partnership which is based on shared values, promotion of global security and stability, and economic prosperity through free and fair trade, business, and investment. Our two great nations collectively contribute a staggering 22% of the world's GDP. We therefore enjoy a place of great prominence in the global economic landscape. And with this, we carry a huge responsibility as torchbearers in the post-COVID journey of recovery and resurgence. India has shown signs of dramatic post-COVID recovery with one of the best turnaround stories in the globe. If you take just the last fiscal year, India attracted its highest ever FDI inflows of about $84.8 billion. There's also been an unprecedented surge in the manufacturing sector, with FDI having doubled to $21 billion, and this is up 76% from the previous year figures of $12 billion. Friends, you must also have read just a few days ago that India has now surpassed the United Kingdom to become the 5th largest economy in the world. Needless to say, the United States has played a critical role in this growth. It has now become India's largest trading partner, having overtaken China as well. Indo-US bilateral trade increased 50% to a stunning figure of $120 billion during the last fiscal year. Friends, India and the United States have made tremendous progress together. But if the last 75 years is any indication, we are just getting started in terms of what we can accomplish through this great and symbiotic partnership. Without further ado, I will hand over the proceedings to our summit chair, Dr. Lalit Bhasin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rohit. Thanks for your welcome address. Now we are also joined by our national president, Mr. Kapil Kaul. Welcome, Mr. Kapil Kaul, to this summit. Uh, Honorable Patricia Lacina, the Charge d'Affaires U.S. Embassy, uh, Mr. Kapil Kaul, National President, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, uh, most distinguished Dr. Beena Modi, Chairperson of Modi Enterprises, Mr. Dr. Vivek Lal, Chief Executive General Atomics Global Corporation, USA, uh, Mr. Arun Karna, he is the Regional Vice President, Indo-American, Managing Director of AT&T Global Network Services. Other worthy participants, chairpersons, panelists who are attending this unique summit. This is the 19th edition of Indo-US Economic Summit. And our chief guest, Shri Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister, will be joining us as he's been caught up in a cabinet meeting, which hopefully will be over soon, and he will join us as soon as he's free. We are grateful to Honorable Patricia Lacina of the Charge d'Affaires of U.S. Embassy for being with us at this important bilateral business dialogue as our guest of honor. This forum, Indo-US Economic Summit, has been doing the same over editions to build a strong edifice of partnership in sectors like infrastructure, ports and shipping, manufacturing, agribusiness, services sectors including tourism, healthcare, education, energy including alternate sources of energy, IT and IT-enabled services, electronics, technology-related domains, and the list is expanding. We set the trend and tenor for future engagements, and the corporation from both sides take them forward. It is a matter of gratification for us that we could catalyze a number of hand-holding joint ventures, technology tie-ups, sharing of experiences. Our desire is to carry out such onerous tasks in a more focused manner, particularly bringing more MSMEs and startups under our coverage to promote their hand holding. In this summit, we have slotted for deliberating issues related to infrastructure, defense and aviation, banking and insurance, healthcare, climate change, agribusiness, information technology, and a special session on unicorns in the next 2 days. Like in the previous editions, we have invited carefully chosen panel speakers and chairpersons for every session to deliberate the subjects threadbare, identifying uh, identifying opportunities and challenges for promoting hand-holding and for scripting a time-bound agenda for realizing the goal. And ladies and gentlemen, what is the goal that we have in mind? The goal is 2047, when India will complete 100 years of its independence and when Indo-US friendship and collaboration will also complete 100 years. So we look forward to 2047, and this summit is a humble effort in that direction, that we can achieve our goal and possibly stand hand to hand holding each other in the larger economic global world which we have today. So friends, I welcome you to this, and over to you, Isha. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Bhasin, for setting the tone for the summit, for telling us what we can look forward to right here at the 19th Indo-US Economic Summit, and really for sharing with us our goal as we look forward to 2047, 100 years of our friendship with the US and 100 years of really looking together to grow and take business on an all new level along with our friendship. As we look forward to this very special session, we have a special address by none other than Dr. Vivek Lal, Chief Executive, General Atomics Global Corporation USA. He is a very well-renowned American scientist who has been the Chief Executive of General Atomics since 1st of June 2020. In the past, he has held various positions at Boeing and at Reliance. We look forward to hearing from him, and thank you so very much. You're joining us from an altogether different time zone, and we much appreciate your presence.
Patricia, appreciate that. Honorable Patricia, Lacina, Dr. Lalit Bhasin, leadership of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor to speak to you from San Diego, and make my comments brief, but the topic of US-India relationship is one of great interest to all of us, and I believe there are over 3,000 attending this session right now, so deeply appreciate the interest. With India's demographics and industrial might complementing US technological entrepreneurism, I feel the two nations do form a natural partnership. Given our shared values, this relationship enjoys strong bipartisan support in both countries, and there is great merit to expand the partnership framework toward a knowledge-based economy through formal collaboration in high-tech areas of common interest. I would suggest moving forward in three areas in which international collaboration has long proven successful would be national defense, energy, and space, three fields in which the countries are already working together. Because progress in such high technology areas is strongly correlated to overall economic prosperity, properly establishing cooperation should help keep the two countries at the forefront of the future international political, economic, and social order. Moreover, successful collaboration in these areas is likely to spawn a number of joint India-US efforts in other matters of mutual interest, including health, education, information technology, and indeed climate change. Defense has emerged as a major pillar of the Indo-US strategic partnership, with progress in defense trade, joint exercises, personnel exchanges, maritime security, and counter-piracy operations. The aggregate worth of India's defense-related trade from the US exceeds $21 billion. And in June of 2016, the US recognized India as a major defense partner to facilitate technology sharing to a level commensurate with that of top allies and partners. India has elevated to STA Tier 1 status, which allows India to receive license-free access to a wide range of military and dual-use technologies regulated by the Department of Commerce. The two countries, as we all know, have also inked key defense and security pacts over the past several years, including LAMOA, COMCASA, BECA, and so forth. Taken together, the long-established ties and new forward-looking pacts establish the framework needed to push ahead with extensive collaboration on a number of high-tech defense activities of mutual interest to the two nations. I would also like to suggest that intelligence is by definition sensitive in nature, yet there is a growing need for intelligence sharing between India and the US, as they have similar humanitarian goals. India and the US face several common challenges. Some of these manifest in the form of terrorism and so forth. Unmanned systems are the preferred mechanism for acquiring situational awareness over large geographical areas. We at General Electronics are very privileged to be part of the national security initiatives in India, and we expect that in the coming days and years, this collaboration will continue to grow. This is of special importance, obviously, to a country facing the possibility of hostile actions along long borders. The second important platform that I would think in the future would be of relevance would be aircraft carriers, an important class of assets for a country with an ocean boundary thousands of miles long. Involvement in the technologies that constitute the essence of these systems will advance the high-tech aspirations of the Indian economy as well as strengthen the military posture of the country. Turning briefly to energy, I do believe the energy independence and the quest for that has animated both India and US policies. Both countries want to avoid the entanglements that come from over-reliance on countries with fundamentally different set of values. India has had to meet the rapidly increasing energy demands of a growing population and even more rapidly growing set of industrial demands, while the US is increasingly influenced by the need to address the adverse energy sufficiency plan for the entire spectrum of sources. It is clearly in the interest of both countries to help commercialize energy sources that meet their long-term needs. Accomplishing this jointly would be of further benefit. Cooperation in three areas, obviously with differing timescales of implementation, I would suggest would lead to the desired goals. One is, of course, renewable energy sources in the near term. The second I would submit is nuclear fission in the intermediate term, and finally nuclear fusion in the long term. Because none of these approaches make use of fossil fuels, they are broadly classified here as green. So to conclude, I would like to say that investment in research and development is only one aspect of an effective portfolio of policies to foster innovation, spanning regulatory, taxation, and immigration matters, as well as fiscal allocations. It underscores the need for continued and enhanced active involvement by government in nurturing science and technology-based innovation in the public and private sector, and thereby also increasing employment in relatively well-paid high-tech industries in the country. Strengthening these assets is wise public policy that will stimulate economic growth and continue broadly to national prosperity in the coming years. No one country has a lock on the best ideas. If the next generation of scholars and experts are to save the globe and not one country, collaboration is essential. India and the US are perfectly positioned to lead the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for that, sir. And now may I introduce to you the one man who we look forward to hearing from. Yes, indeed. He has given 40 years and has an experience both in commodity sector and marketing as well as commodity purchase with successful launch of 2 brands and having a thorough knowledge of both automotive and commodity businesses. Managing FMCG and auto component business is no easy task, but he knows how to don many hats. May I please request all of you to extend a very warm welcome to the National President of IACC. I present to you Mr. Kapil Kaul.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say such nice words about me. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ms. Patricia Lacina. It is very nice to meet you all over again, though, of course, in the virtual mode. And I would like to thank you for the amazing support that the embassy and all the consulates have been giving Indo-American Chamber over these past 10, 11 months, on even more, on something that's very vital to the entire world, and which is the environment and environmental issues, and thereof, and in connection with the economy. Further, I thank Dr. Basin for being the initiator of such an excellent program at a very important time, and for the North Council to coordinate this event. And also thank you, Dr. Beena Modi, for attending and being the guest of honor today. And Mr. Rohit Kochar, the regional president, NIC. And last but not the least, I would also, apart from Mr. Sunil Talati, I would like to also commend Dr. Lal and congratulate him for having received Dr. Biden's certificate of honor and good mention for his contribution to Indo-American economic activities. Having said this, I would like to draw our attention to what has been my constant theme in the Indo-American Chamber as president, and which is the environment and how we can, as two countries who have actually cooperated, irrespective of our differences, but as two democracies and countries that believe in freedom of speech and freedom of action and the rule of law, we have collaborated in many ways, going back to the formation of the IITs and IIMs, which have now generated a wealth of leadership across the world, and especially in the United States of America, and thereby now contributing to our economy. The latest, of course, in terms of American enterprise doing what is doing extremely well in India and having adapted itself to India is Amazon. And of course, Jeff Bezos just made an announcement the other day about a huge improvement in Amazon's economic activity and engagement with India, running into tens of billions of dollars in just the next couple of years. I don't think we can expect more at this point of time, but suffice it to say that we have with America in the year 2000 in Y2K collaborated and brought about the solution to the Y2K problem and ushered in the knowledge era together. Second, in the GFC in 2008, we again collaborated and brought the entire global economic ship to an even keel. And now the latest in the pandemic was to collaborate and bring about a solution in terms of the vaccines. Going forward, definitely, as Dr. Lal has mentioned, is in defense, in aerospace, in strategy, in terms of also our own border issues, etc. And equally importantly, however, our two countries should now make a leap of faith and collaborate far faster than what we are doing in the areas of environment, and make in what I say is not make in India. I say that both US and India collaborate to make for the world. America has the technology, the research wherewithal. We have enterprise, and we have people who are very good businessmen and leaders, and we have soft skills, software. We have spirituality. America has hard economic strength. The two of us should collaborate, put our strengths together, and now that's what I'm doing, is taking a delegation to the US, which has been delayed a bit, but nonetheless, I've got the full assistance of the embassy and consulates. And on the 1st of November, we are leading about a 60-member delegation to US to see how Indians can actually set up shop in USA and make that their base, and then reinvent themselves in America and bring those enterprise and businesses back into India. So America definitely has the opportunity going forward. Drones and the likes, and advanced transportation systems, and also we need to collaborate on something more essential, which from Indo-American Chamber we are with the Value Reporting Foundation, changing the accounting standards in India to include environment as a cost in our costing system, and engaging in business with environment to make sure that we become accountable in our businesses, because it is economics and business which is going to lead the change in our attitude towards the environment. With that, I thank you all for coming, and it's lovely to be present for this amazing event on the 75th year of our Indo-US economic relations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kaul. How beautifully put together by you, not just made in India, but made in India with collaborating with the US and making it for the world. How beautiful can these worlds together. So I'd like to thank you so very much for that. Taking this session forward, may I now have the pleasure of introducing to all of you an Iron Lady, Dr. Beena Modi, Chairperson, Modi Enterprises. Not only is she the Chairperson, the President and the Managing Director of Godfrey Phillips India, she is also the Chairperson and Managing Director of Indofil Industries Limited. Dr. Beena Modi is known as somebody who truly social responsibility, her zeal that drives the CSR program with a focus of making sure that she helps people and takes the values of the group further. She is known to be a very successful entrepreneur and is there as a guide and mentor for her entire team. May I now have the privilege of presenting to you Dr. Beena Modi, Chairperson, Modi Enterprises. Madam.
Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Government of India, who will be joining us shortly. Ms. Patricia Lacina, Chargé d'Affaires, US Embassy. Shri Sunil Tileti, Chairman Services Export Promotion Council. Shri Lalit Bhasin, Executive Vice President, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. Shri Kapil Kaul, National President of Iacc, and other esteemed guests present here today. Very good morning to all of you. A new era has begun for US-Indo relations, the two largest democracies in the world. Over the last 75 years, the relationship has passed through several twists and turns. After decades of being estranged democracies, the US and India later became engaged democracies. Now with President Biden, bilateral relationships have further deepened, even at the time of heightened geopolitical tensions in the world. I echo Prime Minister Narendra Modi's sentiment when he says that Indo-US ties are a partnership of trust. This partnership promises to be beneficial for both great nations for the next 25 years and beyond. This process is broadly concurrent with India's rise as an economic power and its growing capability to address global challenges. Women empowerment is now a buzzword. Can one hear that everywhere? There is stress on empowerment of women across the world. I wonder whether empowerment is used more often as a philanthropic jargon and not as an economic imperative. A closer look at the statistics may be revealing. The planet Earth is estimated to have 7 billion people. Approximately half of them are women. Can our economic inclusivity drive become effective if 3.5 billion women are left out of the process of development? People, irrespective of their gender, should be productive. That gender equality leads to a balanced growth, where everyone's creative self blossoms. That contributes to the orderly growth of the society, communities, and nations at large. I feel women's empowerment and emancipation need three different structures: local, national, and international. While local and national level empowerment should be the exclusive domains of a country, the international linkages should be evolved by multilateral organizations in consultation with national agencies. An equal important factor is the growing profile of the 3 million strong Indian diaspora in the US, which is perhaps the wealthiest ethnic community and has distinguished itself in many fields like academics, Silicon Valley entrepreneurship, including heading Fortune 500 companies as CEOs. There is much that India can do to improve ease of doing business, especially in the various states. The US government has also urged India to foster an attractive and reliable investment climate by reducing barriers and minimizing bureaucratic hurdles for businesses. India's ambitions to become a developed nation will be supported with higher engagement with the US markets. This partnership will have multilateral benefits for both the nations for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. And I'd like to request all of you to please virtually put your hands together for Dr. Beena Modi, and how you very beautifully mentioned, touching upon women's empowerment, how irrespective of gender, one must really have the platform to present themselves forward. And as we look forward to hearing yet again from a woman leader, our guest of honor, Ms. Patricia Lacina, Charge d'Affaires, US Embassy, to introduce her and to tell you more about her, may I please request Dr. Lalit Bhasin to do the honors.
I don't think that our honorable guest of honor, Patricia Lacina, needs any introduction to at least those who are members of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. Her name is synonymous with the work which she has done to bring the two countries together. And she is holding a very, very important position at this important in the relationship between India and the United States, particularly in the field of economic cooperation. It is a privilege for our members to listen to the address to be delivered by Honorable Patricia Lacina, the Charge d'Affaires. So I welcome you, your lady, for being here with us today and for the address of the guest of honor. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhasin, for that warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And thank you for inviting me to speak at this inaugural session of the 19th Indo-US Economic Summit. The Iacc has been instrumental in providing a forum for industry-government interactions that has informed collaboration on policy and strategy between our two countries, promoting trade and improving the business climate. Thank you for all you have done to drive our shared economic growth. This year, the United States and India celebrate 75 years of diplomatic relations. We have accomplished many great things over the years for both our countries, and we are poised to achieve even more over the next 25 years. Secretary of State Blinken likes to say, there are few relationships in the world more vital than the one between the United States and India. And I could not agree more. As a fellow Indo-Pacific nation, the United States is deeply aware of the importance of the region and our engagement here. Front and center is our Indo-Pacific strategy. In our Indo-Pacific strategy, is supporting India's role as a regional leader. Our economic, security, and democratic interests closely complement each other. Today, our shared goal to create broad-based, inclusive prosperity for the region brings us closer than ever. For the United States, this means increasing U.S. investment, both at home and abroad, unlocking the potential of the private sector, and helping to deliver high-quality infrastructure. We gladly welcome India's support in these objectives as a founding member of the new Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, or IPEF, launched by President Biden alongside Prime Minister Modi in Tokyo on May 23rd. By focusing on facilitating trade, strengthening supply chains, supporting clean energy, and countering corruption, we will strengthen the middle class in both India and the United States. Our bilateral economic relationship is a crucial contributor to the Indo-Pacific's economic vitality. The growth in U.S.-India trade has been extraordinary, surging from $20.7 billion in 2001 to $159 billion in 2021. The United States has become India's largest trading partner, and India is the 9th largest trading partner for the United States. The United States is India's largest source of foreign direct investment, and a growing number of Indian companies have found the United States to be a welcoming destination for trade and investment. U.S. investment has created more than 5 million jobs in India, and these formal economy jobs also boost India's tax base and provide other benefits to the local economy. Even though our trade has grown, there remains extraordinary potential to do more together. We reconvened the U.S.-India Trade Policy Forum in November 2021 to further expand our relationship. At the forum, we focused on a broad spectrum of issues, including agricultural market access, labor, the environment, good regulatory practices, digital trade and standards, all areas where we can work together. The robust and positive momentum of those meetings is now leading toward what is sure to be a successful trade ministerial later this year. Across the board, we are committed to deepening our cooperation with India on critical global challenges, from food, security, and energy to the climate crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic and other pandemics to come. We are also realizing the potential of our Quad partnership with India, Japan, and Australia to provide important benefits to the people of the region. As we look back on our 75-year relationship, the simple fact is that our countries are closer now than at any previous point in history. The United States and India share a common vision for the region, one that is free, open, secure, and prosperous. Our futures are inextricably linked, and together we will advance prosperity, promote our shared democratic values, and bring the creativity and brilliance of our people to reach even greater heights in the next 25 years. Thank you.
I'd like to take this moment and thank Her Excellency, Ms. Patricia Lacina, for sharing her thoughts with us as we look forward to a free, open, and prosperous future where we promote shared democratic values and reach lights together. I take this opportunity by thanking you, ma'am. And very soon we will be joined by our chief guest, Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India. But before he does join us and encourage us and shows us the way ahead, may I once again present to you Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Summit Chairman and National Executive Vice President, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. Sir.
Yeah, you are taking me by surprise every time. We are waiting for the Honorable Minister to join us. The next session has to start after about 10-15 minutes. Is there any?
So I got a call from the Honorable Minister office. He's just joining in 10 minutes. So we have to wait for 10 minutes, sir.
No, but why can't we start with the next session and he can join us?
So next session will start at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we have missed out one speaker also. He is not joining. Mr.
Yes,
Talati. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let Mr. Arun Karna, you see, give his views, not as a vote of thanks, but your views for next 5 minutes. Mr. Arun Karna.
Sure.
Isha, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhasin.
Isha, please introduce Mr. Karna.
Okay.
It is now a pleasure to invite and present you Mr. Arun Karna, Regional Vice CC and Managing Director and CEO of AT&T Global Network Service India Private Limited. We thank you for your support and mentorship, and of course, also our silver partners for the summit. May I now request to please share a few words with our audience.
Thank you so much, Isha, and thank you, Dr. Bhasin, and thank you for putting me on the spot, but that's all right. It's an honor and privilege to be amongst such luminaries here today. I feel really humbled and inspired at the same time. I've been with the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce for a few years now, and it's been a learning experience for me. I have so many people to thank for, but I think what the chamber is all about is, as the Honorable Ms. Patricia Lacina said, is advancing the joint or shared democratic values between our two countries, and also advancing the common economic interests between our two countries. And we try and do that by evangelizing, how US and India could be great natural partners for business, yes, but also other values like human values and globalization, and how one can combine as democratic forces along with other allies and try and build a better world overall. And I think that's the kind of spirit that's been guiding the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce as well. We've been extremely lucky to be guided by the likes of Dr. Lalit Bhasin over many, many years. There's so much to have learned from him, and we always seek his guidance and sage advice to move ahead. Also, Mr. Kapil Kaul, he's ever green, ever energetic, ever ready with a helping hand, and of course, he leads by example. So I would say that over the years, the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce has done immense service in advancing the Indo-US ties in all areas of engagements, whether it be technology or agriculture or transportation or healthcare, you name it. And the leaders from various verticals have come forward from both sides to make sure that advances are made. So that was that from me, very briefly, Dr. Bhasin, and hopefully we now are ready to be addressed by Honorable Minister.
About 10 minutes ago, you said it'll take 10 minutes. Now we are 10 minutes are over. Now you say 5-6 minutes more.
This is what the office told me. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Endless wait, you know. If it was a physical meeting, we could have had a coffee break,
Yes, sir.
but I can't offer you coffee, but you can have it at your own venues, places, wherever you are. I saw
We can all
Dr. Bina,
enjoy a virtual drink.
yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Modi
Bina,
is already making sure that she starts with that. So thank you so very much for your patience. And may I request all of you to please bear with us another 5 minutes. We await I can assure you we have a day full of a lot of key takeaways. We have some expert speakers who will be joining us through the day. In fact, we'll be starting with our first panel discussion of the day at 12 p.m. and we look forward to having all of you there. Join in, please share your thoughts, your comments. You're welcome to share in your questions and we'll be more than happy to make this very, very engaging for all of you all. And of course, like Dr. Prasin said, very soon, hopefully, we'll meet in person and bring to you our on-ground event yet again so that we can have our physical coffee breaks together.
sure. And do we have to log in again? Is there a separate thing for the?
Isha, the Honorable Minister's office is playing the film for 5 minutes and then sir will join.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So let them play.
There are followers, there are leaders, and then there are visionary. Taking people and society to where they ought to be rather than where they want to be is what separates a visionary from a mere leader. This rare quality is what sets apart Nitin Gadkari, Minister of Road Transport and Highways, from many of his ilk. Born in 1957 into a free-thinking agricultural family, Nitin Gadkari at heart has always been a social worker inspired by the RSS founder KB Hedgewar's ideals of humanity and nation building. Taking off as a Minister of the Public Works Department in 1995, Nitin Gadkari made groundbreaking changes in the speed the city of Mumbai traveled. So impressed was the then PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji with Gadkari ji's performance as PWD minister that he offered him a responsibility of weaving road nets in the whole of rural India. The outstanding Swarnim Chaturbhuj Yojana, of which Shri Gadkari ji was the chairman, is the culmination of these efforts. 55 flyovers dotting the city have made commuting in Mumbai much easier than ever before. The foundation for the magnificent Bandra-Worli Sea Link was also readied during this time. The jewel in the crown of Maharashtra, India's first expressway, the world-class Pune-Mumbai Expressway, is also a futuristic project imagined and brought to fruition by Nitin Gadkari. Connecting over 13,000 unconnected villages with an all-weather $100 million USD project is another feat accomplished by this far-sighted visionary. Nagpur, his hometown, has seen first of its kind double-decker bridge. An innovative beautification of flyover using local artists and painting of great political and social leaders was added attraction. Ajni Intermodal Station will have connectivity between long-distance buses, city buses, railways, metro and indirect link with city airport. Nagpur Broad Gauge Metro, which is a commuter rail project planned for Nagpur city and extending up to adjacent areas of Wardha, Narkhed, Ramtek, Bhandara and Chhindwara. World-class institutions like IIT, IIM and AIIMS emerge and thrive under his watchful gaze. This is in addition to the over 1,000 Ekal Vidyalayas that go a long way into molding the future tribal generations. Performing over 10,000 successful heart surgeries is another stupendous achievement in his illustrious career as a warm-hearted do-gooder. The city of Nagpur is the first city to explore alternative biofuels for transport. These include bio-CNG buses. His innovative idea of India's first of its kind CNG-run tractor has proved to be farmer-friendly, cost-effective, and helping in reducing air pollution. In a historic push for biofuels, Gadkari ji is introducing flex engines which will run on 100% ethanol, directly providing additional income to farmers and the agricultural sector. Sanskritik Mahotsav, motivating local artists to go nationally. Krida Mahotsav, supporting local sportsmen to showcase their abilities and motivate them to go nationally and on Olympic level. Projects like AgroVision are helping farmers with latest technologies and practices. His idea of using sewage water for power generation, use of ethanol as fuel have added a whole new dimension to the city's development program. As India's current Minister of Road Transport Highways, he has re-energized the whole sector with his clear vision. With more than 40,000 kilometers of national highways constructed in the last 7 years, 60,000 kilometers of new roads under his supervision are being constructed. The speed of road construction from a mere 3 kilometers in 2014 has grown to 40 kilometers in 2021. The dazzling Delhi-Mumbai Expressway has set 4 new world records with 12,500 cubic meters of concrete being laid down on the 4-lane stretch of 25.4 kilometers. These world records are as follows: highway construction rate at 37 kilometers per hour, construction of 2.5 kilometer long 4-lane concrete road near Vadodara at Delhi-Mumbai Expressway in 24 hours, laying down of 26 kilometer long bitumen road at Solapur-Bijapur section of NH52 in 21 hours. A 50% growth in the length of the national highways in the last 7 years of the NDA government is a monumental achievement. The figures went up from 91,287 kilometers to 1,37,625 kilometers. Going further, INR 3.32 lakh crore is allotted for 22 Greenfield Expressway, initiated by the bridge building Messiah, as he is fondly referred to. Bharatmala and Sagarmala, 2 world-class access-controlled expressway projects led by Nitin Gadkari, are presently in various stages of construction. The Bharatmala project seeks to eliminate the perennial road traffic movement imbroglio across the country. With Nitin Gadkari taking charge, India's much maligned logistics sector has also metamorphosed from a point-to-point model to a hub-and-spoke model. This multimodal transport system integrates railways, highways, inland waterways, and airports, conjuring a highly effective transportation grid, substantially reducing logistic costs and pollution. 35 multimodal logistic parks, 50 economic corridors, 10 intermodal stations are being readied for the monumental effort. Logistics summits with the international participants, including government organizations and the World Bank, leading to MOUs worth 2 lakh crore, have been held to add muscle to the initiative. Among his other endeavors, unprecedented progress is evident in port industrialization, national water highway traffic, jetties for coastal tourism, Ganga Yamuna cleaning, fundraising, asset monetization project, toll operate transfer. As MSME Minister, he has gone all the way to promote entrepreneurship, helping rural youth to adopt Khadi as a means of self-employment. The MSME Ministry has also found wings under Mr. Gadkari. He changed the definition for classification of MSME. Now, a company investing 1 crore and earning a turnover of 5 crore will be classified as micro company. The portal Udyam Registration UR offers faceless, fully online, paperless and transparent MSME registration process fully integrated with income tax and GSTN systems. His brainchild, Jal Kranti, Buldhana pattern of water conservation which changed economy of villages by rejuvenating water bodies, has won a global award. Mr. Gadkari introduced the first ever vehicle scrapping policy, which proved to be the fight against pollution and in the interest of road and vehicle safety. New FASTag policy is helping commuters to save their fuel and time on toll plazas. Some of his major work, like unprecedented push for research and development in electric vehicles, leading research and development for usage of waste materials in highway construction to cut down highway construction costs and generate wealth out of waste materials, developing ropeways and funicular railways in the remotest parts of the country, thus boosting tourism. Pajgaon project for women of making carpets from scrap cloth is a classic example of women empowerment. Khadi Prakritik paint, which is made from cow dung, is aiding in employment in rural areas and have exponentially improved rural economy. When all industries were shut in the pandemic, Mr. Gadkari empathized with people by conducting webinars and 800 plus video conferences. His quick decision making in procuring oxygen (PPE) kits helped those affected by the deadly virus. He generously donated ambulances to NGOs, helped to set up oxygen plants, factory to make remdesivir injections and injections for mucormycosis. Thus, by showcasing strong leadership and taking quick decisions, he handled the COVID situation effectively. His affable nature goes beyond everyday personal equations as he continues to transmit his radiance and ideas to every individual or organization with his unmatched zeal. Gifted with an ability to dream the seemingly impossible dreams and getting them to fruition also defines this clairvoyant visionary. Nitin Gadkari shines on as one of modern India's pioneering leaders and his work a template for the coming generations. If there ever was the infrastructure man of India, he would answer to the name Nitin Jairam Gadkari.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
I'm privileged by the kind presence of our chief guest, Shri Nitin Jairam Gadkari ji, Honorable Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India. May I please request Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Summit Chairman and National Executive Vice President, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, to extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for again being with us. You have given us the privilege of having your gracious presence on earlier occasions also. But this is a very special occasion for us when we have the 19th edition of the Indo-US Economic Summit, in which a large number of US corporations, the Indian business houses, and the governments of both the countries, as your good self heads the ministry, very important ministries, and the charge d'affaires of US Embassy, Honorable Patricia, Lacina, they are all participating in this. Sir, for the benefit of my colleagues here and the participants and the distinguished speakers, to me, Nitin Gadkari is not a name. He is an institution, whether it is road transport, which not only has the connectivity among different parts of the country, but also generating employment for lakhs of our Indian underprivileged poor people also. And more importantly, the development of infrastructure. He has been rightly described as our leader and man for infrastructure industry. Sir, today we have the distinguished presence of many people here, including Dr. Vivek Lal and also Dr. Beena Modi, who heads one of the important corporate bodies in India. So we are privileged to have your presence, and I humbly request you to please share your inaugural address for this very important Indo-US Economic Summit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Patricia Lacina from US Embassy, Dr. Lalit Bhasin, Summit Chair and National Executive, Vice President of Iacc, Mr. Kapil Kaul, National President, Mr. Rohit Kochar, Regional President, distinguished dignitaries, invitees, and all my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be virtually present with you all to inaugurate the 19th Indo-US Economic Summit of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. I compliment the Chamber for being one of the most impactful bilateral forum in the country, and Iacc is working to strengthen the business partnership between India and the United States since 1968. The United States of America and India are prominent democracies of the world with strong bilateral relationship. We are natural partners and have a lot to contribute for mutual growth. Both the countries have always shown mutual trust, respect, and cooperation on the social, economic, and strategic front. The theme you have chosen this year, the new agenda for next 25 years, will set the roadmap for strengthening our relationship. Our emphasis has been on creating a sustainable business ecosystem with an inclusive growth model. I understand the summit is going to discuss a number of subjects in the next 2 days, inviting policymakers, experts, and industry stakeholders. I am sure there would be informed discussion on infrastructure, roads, and highways, and related matters. We need to encourage out-of-the-box thought, process, and promote creative agenda to wave new pathways. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has set a vision for India to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Today, India is one of the fastest growing economies and stands at 5th position in the world. A well-developed infrastructure enhances economic activity, create new businesses, and promote jobs creation. Our government is investing $1.4 trillion in infrastructure development through National Infrastructure Pipeline. The road sector will account for 19% of this capital expenditure over a period of 2019 to 2025. The government has launched the Prime Minister National Gati Shakti Master Plan for holistic and integrated infrastructure development in the country. With Gati Shakti, all stakeholders will follow the rule of 3 C's, that is cooperation, coordination, and communication. Now the project will get faster clearances and NOCs from multiple departments. The Gati Shakti Master Plan is focusing on building multimodal infrastructure connectivity to the economic zones as well as the last mile connectivity. This will make Indian products more competitive by cutting down the logistic cost and improving the supply chains. Our focus is on developing high quality cost, effective and sustainable world-class infrastructure in the country. I always quote former US President John F. Kennedy's words about American roads. American roads are not good because America is rich, but America is rich because American roads are good. I strongly believe in this statement. Good road network brings prosperity to the country. Today, India has about 6.4 million kilometers of road network, which is the second largest in the world, and first being the USA. Road infrastructure plays a critical role in the growth of Indian economy, as 70% of goods and nearly 90% of passenger traffic uses the road network to commute. In 2014, we had around 91,000 kilometers of national highway network. At present, this network has reached about 1.47 lakh kilometer road. The government is dedicatedly working towards expanding national highway network to 2 lakh kilometers by 2025. The Bharatmala Phase 1 aims to create a road network of 35,000 kilometers with a capital cost of rupees 10.4 lakh crores, that is about $125 billion across the country through projects such as economic corridors, expressways, national corridors, and feeder routes. We have conducted route optimization exercise across major corridors and have designed newer alignment, and we are constructing 27 greenfield expressways of 10,000 kilometers across the country with an investment of rupees 5 lakh crore, that is about $60 billion. These corridors result in 14% reduction in travel distance between the key economic centers, and this would further ensure reduction in transportation cost by 2.5%. In addition, there would be saving of around 110 crore liter of fuel and reduction of carbon dioxide emission by 250 crore by every year. While building infrastructure, we are also talking at most care of environment, and it is very important to be eco-sensitive. The tree plantation, water table management, animal under and overpasses are also given special attention. Around 3 crore trees would be planted along the national highways, and we are adopting tree transplantation practices while construction and expansion of highways. And till now, we have successfully transplanted about 27,000 trees in NH project. Our government is formulating a new policy called Tree Bank for tree cutting and tree transplantation. As per policy, authorities such as NHI, NHIDCL, Airport and Port Authority have maintained a tree bank account having record of planting and filling of trees during project development. They have to plant 10 new trees from over every tree cut and plant 5 new trees for every single tree transplanted. All planted trees will be geotagged, and water harvesting stations are being set up every 500 meters along the greenfield corridors to recharge water tables. We are encouraging toll plazas on national highways to be powered by solar agency, and about 200 projects of around 10 megawatt capacity, each to generate solar energy of 1.5 gigawatt, is being planned along the national highways. The pilot projects are planned in Ambala-Kotputli corridor and Amritsar-Bathinda corridor to generate 120 megawatts at a total capital cost of rupees 450 crores. Investment into India's supply chain and logistic infrastructure is gaining momentum. Today, our logistic cost is in the range of 14 to 16% of GDP. Reducing it to below 10% of GDP is at the top of the agenda. To bring efficiency in logistics, our ministry is developing 35 multimodal logistic parks, MMLP, across the country with an investment of rupees 2 lakh crore, that is about $25 billion. The MMLPs will help us make our exports more competitive, and these MMLPs will help agriculture produce reach the ports faster and also save the logistic cost. Hence, they will give a big boost to agri exports. The port connectivity projects are being implemented to enable swift movement of cargo connectivity all ports, and inland waterways terminals to increase efficiency of domestic and international trade routes. The NHI is developing world-class wayside amenities, WSA, at more than 600 locations along the national highways, apart from basic facilities like good toilets, parking, and restaurants. And these wayside amenities will also have dormitories for truck drivers, EV charging facilities, convention centers, trauma centers, and retail shops for promoting handicrafts and locally manufactured products. Here, heliports and drone landing facilities are also being constructed to deal with medical emergency situations like road accidents and organ transplantation. The next decade will be called as decade. It will be driven by technology, and we have to adopt the best technology in this contest. The new slogan given by the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, and Jai Anusandhan. This has given us a new direction with focus on innovation, Jai Anusandhan. Growth driven by innovation. I am very much interested in promoting use of modern technology in traffic and transport management, and there are huge opportunities in the installation of intelligent traffic system, ITS, advanced traffic management system, ATMS, centralized traffic control centers, AI-based driver information system, and electronic surveillance system. The first advanced traffic management system, ATMS, is installed at Delhi Agra National Highway, and centralized traffic control room has been established on Eastern Peripheral Expressway. The ATMS are being installed on all newly constructed national highways and existing 4+ lane highways to provide seamless and safe traffic operation. The ministry aims to implement ITS on 15,000 kilometers of national highway by 2024 to strengthen road safety. Ministry is conducting a pilot automated number plate recognition system to enable automated toll collection without stopping the vehicles. With this new technology, we want to achieve two objectives: free flow of traffic on toll booths and pay as per your use. Last week, we conducted a nationwide conclave called Manthan, Infrastructure and Transport Ministries from all the states and UTs brainstorm for 2 days. We discussed challenges faced during execution of projects and also shared the best practices. We also awarded the hackathon winners who had suggested use of different technology for toll collection and solving traffic issues. We are giving a lot of importance to innovation, research, and technology in shaping the future of infrastructure sector. Our government is promoting usage of alternative materials, new technology, and best construction practices. Both countries have a huge pool of young and talented engineers working on most advanced technologies. I sincerely hope that the associations like you provide the best platform to engineering and businesses committees from the USA and India to come together and explore opportunities of joint ventures to realize the benefit of advanced technology in the areas of construction, alternative fuel, and agriculture practices. Our ministry has been focusing on the use of waste material like plastic, rubber, flash, steel slag, jute, and coir to save the ecology and environment. We are encouraging use of modified bitumen made by mixing waste rubber and waste plastic. Our government has launched Amrit Sarovar Yojana. Using Amrit Sarovar model, we have created 306 farm ponds, dipped 708 water tanks, and extracted 600 lakh cubic meter material for construction in the state of Maharashtra. This has created an additional water storage of 60,000 TMC. Such a model would serve dual purpose of water conservation and highway construction. We have recently rolled out precast policy where use of precast components and mandated in national highway projects, and we are also working on soil stabilization option to reduce mining activity and use of aggregate in infra project. The private investors can invest in the development of multimodal logistic parks, wayside amenities, OFC's infrastructure, ropeways, and alternative mobility solutions like cable car, road train, buses, and funicular rail, and we are allowing 100% FDI in the road sector. There is a huge opportunity for joint ventures. We are bringing innovative and investor-friendly products like InvIT to allow retail investors to participate in the funding drive. We are designing the product so that retail investors can get good annual return, which are more than the fixed deposit rates. The chamber should take a lead and identity areas where our talented human resources can contribute to design best financial instruments to enable investment in Indian infrastructure space. We have well-developed framework for public-private partnership, PPP, in the highway sector. The Asian Development Bank has ranked India as the first spot in PPP operational maturity and also designated India as a developed market for PPPs. The all project documentation, contractual decisions, and approvals are now being done through the digital portal. I sincerely hope more and more investors from the US will come forward and invest in roads and highway project in India, which is a gold mine for investors. As committed by our Prime Minister at the COP26 summit, India is well ahead in achieving the next zero carbon emission target by 2070. Out of the total renewable power generated, 40% of the electricity is generated from solar energy, which has been targeted to reach 60%. We are promoting research and development in the area of renewable energy. We are also ready to welcome investment in technology that run on biofuels and alternative fuels, compatible engines such as flex engines, hybrid engines, and today India is becoming the largest EV market in the world for electric two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and cars. The government is strongly encouraging solar and wind energy-based charging mechanism for electric mobility, and we are also working on development of electric highway, which will powered by solar, and this will facilitate charging of heavy-duty trucks and buses while running. US-based companies can collaborate with our research and development efforts towards EV battery technologies and retrofitting industry. Our National Hydrogen Mission offers incentives for production and transportation of green hydrogen. I invite you to contribute in the development of low-cost and reliable electrolyzers and hydrogen fuel cell technology. We intend to bring down cost of green hydrogen to $1 per kg. With these words, I would like to thank the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce for giving me the opportunity to address this entrepreneurship and intellectual audience. I wish you all a safe, healthy, and prosperous life ahead. I am very much confident that we need to establish the cooperation, coordination, and communication between the stakeholders, and particularly for the research and development. The new successful practices and research which already developed in the USA, and some of the research and successful practices which already developed in India, my request to the people of the chamber and committee members to make cooperation and coordination and communication between the stakeholders. This can be a win-win situation for both the country. I am really happy to interact with you regarding investment, regarding automobile sector, regarding road infrastructure, tunnels, flyover, bridges, concrete pavements, regarding soil stability technology, regarding many different technology. We are always open. I am really glad that our Indian oil company has already started the plant in Panipat, making biobitumen from rice straw. 1 lakh liter of bioethanol and 150 ton of biobitumen per day. So we are doing a lot of experiments. We need to reduce our imports on fossil fuel, and we are very much committed for ecology and environment. Reduce air pollution, water pollution, and sound pollution is the highest agenda for all of us. Plantation of the tree, we are making special efforts and making e-tag of the tree to resolve the problem of particularly air pollution in the country. For this green revolution also, we are taking a lot of innovation. The public transport on electricity, the ropeway, cable car, funicular railway, sky bus, all the new technology now we are encouraging. Already in my department, we have sanctioned 165 projects of cable car, ropeway, and funicular railway. In the big city like Mumbai and Bangalore, Pune, we want to establish the sky bus in the sky. We are already in the consultation with the companies like Doppelmayr, Puma, the company in the world. We want to develop public transport system on electricity, the trolley bus, and particularly the mono railway and different type of mass rapid transport on electricity. These technologies are available in USA. My suggestion to the chamber member that by taking all this new technology to India, there is a huge potential. I am really happy that I got opportunity to interact with you. I am giving my all best wishes to you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
We are privileged to learn from you, and thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for your best wishes, and I'm sure the chamber members will take your suggestions to heart and work on them. But to thank you personally, may I please request Mr. Rohit Kochar, Regional President, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, to do the honors.
Honorable Minister, it's a great pleasure to meet you again. And I was actually meant to deliver the welcome address for you, but Now I've been asked to deliver a vote of thanks. So heartfelt thanks from me and from the entire Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. I speak on behalf of everyone. And I must say that I have followed you and your achievements and your hard work and your sacrifice over the last many years. And I've been fascinated and awestruck by it. So it's been a great pleasure, sir, to have India's most performing minister and the infrastructure man of India in the midst of us today, yet again, because I remember last year you were gracious enough to inaugurate the previous Indo-US Economic Summit. So, sir, thank you very much for taking out your valuable and precious time and being in the midst of us today. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kochar. And once again, may I take this opportunity by thanking all our dignitaries who have us for the lecture at the 19th Indo-US Economic Summit as we look forward to 75 years of US-India relations and make sure that we bring to you the new agenda for the next 25 years. Let me take this opportunity by once again thanking all our partners. We've been supported by US Commercial Service,